Hey everyone, it is late at night and I'm Norman. This is the 27th day of my 30 dress watches in 30 days challenge. And tonight we're looking at something really amazing looking. This is the Glashutte Original Senator 60s watch. I found this piece in a write-up of it on Hodinkee, and the link to that article is in the description below. And just look at that dial. That dial is so absolutely amazing looking. I love the color, I love the crazy texture on it, I love the whimsical font they went with. It is super mid-century style, just yes. So there are Arabic numerals at the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, and in between that are applied batten markers. There are pips on the outside of each hour indicator, and a minutes track running around the edge of the dial. The hands are stick hands, they're dark in color with some lume in them. There's a display case back on these watches, and just look at that rotor. That is not a design that you see very often. It's two-tone and has a G worked into the design. These watches have 39mm cases, and they retail for about $7,500. So I feel like with that aesthetic, they're kind of at the right price point. This is something you would see with Corona Tokyo or similar pieces. And even though they're a contemporary size, the design of this watch is so mid-century. And again, that dial is just wild. And by the way, if you're a fan of vintage watches, dress watches, interesting watches that you don't really see very often, you may want to subscribe to this channel. I have a few more videos to do in this challenge, and you don't want to miss those. So be sure to hit the notifications. And you could like this video, unless I've put you to sleep already. But when I'm done with this challenge, I have a very interesting story to tell. A friend of mine and I went watch shopping, and I got a ton of pictures from that trip, so keep your eyes open for that video. But if we go to Glashutte Original's website, we see that they are kind of all over the place. There's some sports pieces that are part of this Specialist lineup. In this line we have dive style watches, a couple of chronographs, and even a little bit of bling. They have a vintage collection, and in this lineup there's some rounded square chronographs with some brightly colored dials. I like the shape of the cases on these watches. They are 40mm, so they might wear a bit large just because of the case shape, but I do like the colors on those dials. There's also some chronographs. There's one with a gray dial, and it's two-tone because the indices are in a gold color. There's also a green dial one and a blue dial one. And there's a bunch of colorways and variants of the watch that we're looking at tonight. You can get these with black dials. There are even pieces with big dates on them right above the 6. They aren't huge, but they're kind of big date aesthetic. And what's cool about the chronographs in this collection is they use the same vintage style whimsical font, at least at the 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. The 3 and 9 are covered by chronograph dials. And I like how the chronograph dials are kind of oversized. Some of the chronographs are in 42mm. The piece is similar to the one that we're looking at tonight is in 39mm. And the big date watches are in 42mm. But this textured green dial piece that we're looking at, I feel like is the pinnacle of all their designs. That texture is just so cool. And the overall look of this watch, I feel like is kind of elevated above their other pieces. But that could be just me. So there you have it, a glimpse at Glashutte's various collections, and this amazing green dial piece in particular. Thanks for watching.